Hi traders, and welcome to today's ACY Securities Forex Market Analysis. My name is Duncan Cooper and I will be your host. Today we'll be focusing on the dollar index and the pound to the US dollar. So first we'll look at the news items coming out for the week, and then we'll have a look at the charts. Hi traders, just at forexfighter.com. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the pound US dollar, so I just want to look at the news items that could affect that pair this week. So these times are in my time, Queensland time, so getting into midnight my time today. As we head into Wednesday, we've got the US job openings, and then later into Wednesday evening, 10:15 p.m, ADP non-farm employment change figures coming out. Slightly minor one, 10:30 p.m, final GDP for the US. Getting into Thursday now, 10:30 p.m, core PCE price index coming out. And then the last red items for the week on Friday, the job figures. We've got 10:30 p.m, unemployment rates, non-farm employment change, and the average hourly earnings coming out. So lots of news coming out regarding the US job figures. Those are the things that are going to affect the market this week, so be aware of when they come out. I'm just spotted one more here, my time. I was just heading to Saturday morning, 12 a.m. We've got the US ISM manufacturing PMI. So just make sure you know all the items that are coming out that could affect any pair, but I'm going to be reviewing the pound US dollar today, so these items will definitely affect that particular currency pair. Alright, let's get to the charts. First up, I just want to review the dollar index, and we're getting to the end of the month, 29th of the month, so we're having a good month up. We're above old monthly resistance here at 98.12, and we're heading towards potentially the next level at 100.39. So monthly trend is clearly up. We've had many months up. Had half a month up and down 2 months ago, so you know, can't keep going up month after month without having a month or two back, but still continuing up. Weekly trend had 1 week down in the month and didn't quite get back to weekly old resistance becoming support here. So trend is still up. MACD's crossed up down here, high tops and bottoms, a very minor pullback, holding on the monthly support level, coming up to challenge the high of the month at the moment in this new week. And the day trend here been a bit consolidatory whilst we've been having that weak pullback, but what you can see is for the most of the pullback we're trying to hold above 98.12 monthly support, and we're re-challenging the highs, the daily highs of the month. So in all probability we're going to pretty much close to the top of the month unless something changes. So overall we're seeing US dollar strength, which should be weakness showing in the pairs to the US dollar. Generally speaking, we're seeing that in the pound dollar. So let's get to the pound dollar. Here we go. So the weekly chart. So what I'm noticing, last week we only just managed to have a positive week just, and yesterday, now into today, Tuesday, we're already negative for the week, and we've broken the low of last week. So we're putting in a lower top here. Alright, so I've got my support and resistance drawn in. Resistance up here at 133.57, which we couldn't get back to. And then monthly support, which is also weekly support here at 131.68. And also 131.34 here, support. Well, those two levels were acting as support as we started the week, but as of yesterday we've moved below those two levels. So those two levels potentially now can act as resistance on any retracement back up intraday. So just watch 131.68 and get the number here, 131.34. Those two levels now potentially can act as resistance on any intraday retracement. Alright, so overall the weekly trend is down. Look at all these series of lower tops. Putting in another lower top, we have a lower bottom. MACD's crossed down. So the overall picture here is negative. We've just been having 2 positive weeks before getting back into a negative week. So I'm looking for an opportunity to sell on a intraday retracement. to trade down to retest this day support level here at 130. So to the day chart, just put in support and resistance. Day support's down here at 130. So I'm anticipating we might get a move down to retest that. The actual day chart trend here, as I'm putting my support and resistance in, is actually up, but we've obviously had a very negative reversal on the weekly chart, so potentially we could still move back up, but the weekly picture is very negative. Alright, resistance levels I'm using for resistance, this level up here, 132.73. And I just want to check my other screen. And this is the other one that I've been using here, 132.11. So using 132.73 where we failed last week, and then 132.11. There's a couple of ones I could be using this one too, but this one here, a couple of trading days here that we held at that level, so I was just checking my notes. 132.11. There we go. Now it wouldn't be wrong to put that level in there too, but I'm just using this one because it's had a lot more touches last week of failure. So we could, pop up to any one of those levels really intra-week. But what I'm expecting now is, after a very negative trading day yesterday, even though we've moved up to actually a higher high here, to that high and that high, we could potentially put in a higher bottom here to move back up and challenge any one of these resistance levels. But now that we've moved back below this level of monthly weekly support, 131.68, and this level here at 131.34, I'm expecting that any retracement back up, these two levels can act as resistance for a move down to challenge 130. Okay, now before we move down to a 4-hour chart and have a look at that, there is the potential for a higher bottom to form here, and we could have come all the way back up and re-challenge 132.73. That is potential to happen, especially if we have a very negative job figures on Friday. But that being said, at the moment, if you look at price action closely, there's actually a little lower top forming here. So whilst I haven't got my dots forming on the top, there's a very minor lower top forming just there. I'm going to be looking on the 4-hour chart for a retracement back up for an opportunity to sell, trade down. So in the short term, before we get to the 4-hour chart, a move down in terms of targets. My short-term target would be 130, and then further down, the longer-term level of weekly support down at 128.54 would be a longer-term target if we can move down. So to the 4-hour chart, and here it is. We have had a move down into a downtrend here. MACD's crossed down. So what I'm looking at is this area of old support. Is it going to be now resistance? So from 131.68 down to 131.34, these are or were weekly levels of support. Expect now that I move up any one of these levels, or the area can act as resistance. So I'm just going to be monitoring price action coming back up to 131.34. Ideally, if I had a choice, coming back up to 131.68 and then seeing an intraday failure, and then in that area I would look for an opportunity to be a seller, for then the potential move back down through the course of the week to re-challenge 130. If that level can fail, as I was just saying, if that level can fail, then alright, just drawing back in, just fading there. So then coming down and challenge 130 if we can, and then if that level can fail, longer term looking to target 128.54 weekly support. Okay traders, so a very bearish outlook at the moment on the weekly chart. Just looking to the 4-hour chart at the moment for an opportunity to sell a rally at resistance for the next move down. Okay traders, that's my analysis for today. Have a great trading week. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Want a real opportunity to improve your trading? Join Duncan Cooper in his free 15-part webinar series designed to help you improve all areas of your trading. The upcoming webinars for this week: 29th of March, how to determine the market trend across multiple time frames. We will look over all aspects of trends, including the mega trend, finish with a live chart exercise to submit your learning. 30th of March, Forex trading, live market analysis. During this webinar, Duncan will review 12 currency pairs, determine the key support and resistance trading levels for the week ahead, discuss his favorite risk to reward trading opportunities, and answer your trading questions. 31st of March, how to draw trend lines and identify a change in trend. During this webinar, you will learn how to draw support and resistance trend lines and determine the immediate trend on any time frame. Duncan will finish with a trend line exercise to submit your learning. Register at the link below.